In my childhood, if you were to ask me what my dream job would be, I would tell you I wanted to be a game developer. Specifically, a game developer working for Ensemble Studios. And just like my dream, Ensemble Studios is dead. So what happened to this huge RTS giant? How did the company that created games as popular as Age of Empires and Halo Wars end up canned? When I typed in Ensemble Studios into YouTube, I was pretty disappointed in what I found. As my childhood was basically fueled by RTS games from this amazing studio, I was expecting an all-I-could-watch buffet of content about the history of the studio, the games they developed, as well as the people that made the big dreams happen. I found a few documentaries from the bonus content sections of the collector's editions of Ensemble's games, but that's about it. I just figured that there wasn't a lot of information about the studio or its founders. Boy, was I wrong. Part 1. A brief history of Ensemble Studios. His name was Tony Allen Goodman. The year is 1991. Gas costs less than $2. The Soviet Union is about to be dissolved, and Tony Allen Goodman starts the Ensemble Corporation. Life is good. See, the Ensemble Studios that we all knew and loved was actually more or less a side project, being funded by its sort of parent company, the Ensemble Corporation. Tony Allen Goodman founded the Ensemble Corporation with the help of John Boog Scott, Than Chapman, and John Calhoun. A solid group who would perform spectacularly together, an ensemble. Thus, Ensemble Corporation was born, and started as a software consulting company for large corporations. What set them apart is that they designed all of their software to be as scalable and reusable as possible, so they could quickly develop tailored applications to new clients as quickly and efficiently as possible. A talent worth a lot in this venture, as well as their next. Tony was pretty good at what he did, and learned a lot about writing software, independent publishing, customer service, company culture, and so much more while running the Ensemble Corporation. And he wanted to take these skills with him to form a new venture, a game company called Ensemble Studios. Tony and one of his best developers, Angelo Lawden, were huge fans of video games and would often talk about them late into the night. They had worked on a prototype in their free time for a game inspired by Sid Meier's Civilization. They hired an artist, built a prototype for their sandbox game, and reached out to Bruce Shelley, an industry vet that worked with Sid Meier on Civilization, and would also be a huge staple of Ensemble Studios for years to come. And honestly, Bruce Shelley is amazing. I have no doubt that I'll have a video on just him at some point. Soon after, Tony, along with John Boog Scott and Tony's own brother Rick, who will later go on to found Stainless Steel Studios and develop Empire Earth, as co-founders, incorporated, and Ensemble Studios was officially christened into the world of gaming. Ensemble Studios was now a little startup with a lot of passion, thankfully being funded by Ensemble Corporation, giving them time to figure out what exactly they wanted to create. They settled on Dawn of Man as the title of their work-in-progress sandbox game and began hiring talented and driven people to turn this prototype into a worldwide phenomenon. Tony once said that he wanted everyone who owned Microsoft Windows to buy this game, so you could bet your bottom dollar that Ensemble Studios was going to reach for the stars. After some more time pounding out prototypes, playtesting, and trying out the new gameplay, they found their direction and their name. Instead of making a full sandbox game, they wanted to focus on a historical-based real-time strategy game, a winning combo that would prove itself time and time again. They settled on the name Age of Empires. Given that the sexy and glamorous world of digital distribution wasn't yet established with services like Steam and GOG existing in the early 90s, along with Tony Goodman's nightmare of self-publishing his own software in the early 90s, self-publishing likely wasn't going to cut it. So, who best to turn to for publishing than the software giant that created the very operating system for the platform they were developing for? Better yet, a company that didn't have a solid foothold in the PC gaming market and was looking for its new flagship game. The boys at Ensemble reached out to Microsoft. Hey, if you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you for watching. This little series has been a pet project of mine for the last year or so, and it's been a learning process. Everything from the video editing, audio recording, writing, etc. has all been figured out on the fly. The original script is about 23 minutes, and I didn't realize how much time it was going to take for me to record the audio, find, create, edit the footage shown, and make this into something that's actually worth watching. So I've ultimately decided to split this video into 3 parts. I figured now would be a good time to release part 1 with Age of Empires 4 just around the corner. And with that said, I really appreciate you checking out my video, and I would love to hear any and all feedback you may have in the comments. Like I said, this is new territory for me, and all criticism is welcome as I refine the process and continue learning. The next video I make and release is going to be part 2.